husband and wife, parents and children, and students and teachers, even among best friends, quarrels, and dispute, and conflicts. If you do not manage them when it sparks, when it was a little spark, if you don't manage it, it'll just burn the whole mountain, whole area. Brush fire started in Valley. It's happening. When I used to live in Valley for 6 years, time to time we had to evacuate because of wind and fire and wildfires. But normally the wildfire starts with a little spark, or sometimes homeless through the cigarettes that still is burning, and it was not quite extinguished, or just camping. There's a little fire that caused, and the fire just added, just like an oil to the fire that burned so many houses in similar area. The entire village was burned. That happened, and now it's burning. Which area is in the Santa Monica area, near beach area, is hitting so many houses nowadays. So it's like a burning fire. If you do not manage it right away, if you lose the time, the damage will be severe. You could start with the little things, even with the children, because I'm raising children, or even though they're fully grown up. Sometimes we have an argument on clothing and food and career and who to marry and what to do, where to go. Small things. But if you do not settle down with those small things, they'll cause a big trouble later on that'll damage whole life. So that's what conflict is. When conflict is getting heated, and you're even up to kill somebody, someone who's opposed your ideas, or you get offended. That's what's happening. So somebody has to, work on it to control the heated discussion. Conflict management is a big thing. How to manage a team, and how to manage the negativity, how to increase the positivity, how to increase the productivity. All those things are happening. How to compromise, what's the fate of organizations, how we do it, how we're going to manage it, all those things, how we're going to learn it from that, how to resolve the problem. That's the key. So how do we define conflict? Etymology is from Latin word. It's from conflictus. Past particle confligere, to strike together. From cum is together, a form of cum, and figure to strike. So it's a beginning structure of a fighting. It can lead up to physical fighting. Not only a verbal argument, but it'll end up fighting together. So we come up definition is clash or disagreement, often violent, between two opposing groups or individuals. Conflict can happen between man and woman, and men and women, and one man and several women, and group to group. It can happen. Even in the church setting, I've been pastoring 3 different churches, small, medium, large congregation, and every church has a problem. There is no such a thing as a perfect church. There is no such a thing as a religious group that is a perfect harmony. That's not going to happen. Because everybody has their own agenda. The hidden agenda wanted to be heard. So it's happening. So everybody wants to make a voice. Their voice must be heard. If the voice is not heard and recognized or respected, then everybody gets provoked and get offended and they don't like it. And nobody wants to be mistreated. Everybody wants to be respected. Everybody wants to be recognized. And some people, even further, some people want to be in the center of attention. So conflict is a crash, or just disagreement, or say I don't think so. You start with a little thing, small thing. Or, I don't like it. That can happen. So basically, it's an argument, but if you look at the a little deeper under the circumstances, everybody is bringing ideas, even though they're angry, they're raising voices, and they want to promote their ideas. They want to achieve the goal. If you listen from outside, from third person point of view, you can see, they can come up with good ideas. One person is saying is A, so he is saying, no, A is the best. See, is it A? We should do this way. The other person say, no, we're gonna do. Where's the person? We're gonna do this way. But if you heard it from a third person perspective, then you can see, there's a common denominator, and that's a good idea. But they don't see that. The actual person, because sometimes, you argue with your daughter, or father argue with the son on something. But if somebody hears from that, from outside, then they say, they're basically, there's a common things. And if they work together, they'll come up with a pretty good idea. It can happen in business too. It can happen in school and church. Anything happens like that. And see, groups argue, young people to supervisor, or maybe there's a debating things, and we should sell this part, or we should purchase it. We got to expand a little bit, or we should just downsize it, or we got to do more high tech. They can argue on items to sell, purchase. It can happen. Some issues. This is right, this is wrong, and they just want to beat the others. That's apparent conflict that's happening. So, which side you're on? Difference is not wrong. But a lot of times we say, I'm on this side, I'm on that side, so we're enemies. No, it's not. It doesn't happen like that. So, Rahim, it says, while no single definition of conflict exists, most definitions involve the following factors. These are the factors of the conflict. There are at least two independent groups. If it is one group, there's no conflict. The groups perceive some incompatibility between themselves. There's no point of a compromise. And the groups interact with each other in some way. So if they don't talk, if they don't come to the same place, there's no such thing as conflict. Because you are living together, working together, the same place, that's why it's conflict. Time to time I have a conflict, I have an argument with my son and my daughter. But I don't have an argument with the homeless person. If the homeless person is sitting out there spitting on the street, I don't care. I don't tell don't spit on the street like that. That's a rule. No, I don't talk to homeless. I just leave them alone. I don't want to get involved in his life. But if my son does that, I'll say, stop it, don't do it. That's bad manner. Or if my daughter raised a voice or someone else, I say, stop it, no fighting. So somewhat we're related because we are working together, we're coexisting in one place. That's why conflict happens. If you do not read, if someone bothers you in China, I just don't bother. Forget about it. Xi Jinping, I have nothing to do with Xi Jinping. I have nothing to do with that. So, because we coexist at particular place or particular point for a particular purpose, that happens. Because interests just collide. Two example definitions are by Wall Callister, process in which one party perceives that its interests are being opposed or negatively affected by another party. That, if they say the same thing, then there's no compromise. And the interactive process manifested in comparability, disagreement, or dissonance within or between social entities, as Rain defines conflicts. Then what are the causes? Why there are conflicts? Why the happy family, we say happy family should not have conflict? That's the wrong question. There's no such thing as perfect family, perfect partner. Maybe it lasts for a few months. The honeymoon season is over, then it happens, reality comes. Once reality hits you, then you're hitting the walls. There are several causes of conflict. Conflict may occur when? Number one is different goals. The party is required to engage in an activity that is incongruent with his or her needs or interests. Because one person wants to have A, other group wants to have B, and they want to come up with a goal. We want to set up this one's goal. And some say, no, I don't think so, we're going to go this way, and this is our goal. And I love traveling. And many of my friends are, travelers. They've been traveling for 6 months, 7 months, a year, leading tour groups sometimes by themselves just for fun. And one person just wants to South America by himself or with a friend. The other person said it's too dangerous. Let's go to Eastern Europe this time. And they just want to see how church was involved in Europe and how church was developed in South America. But their interests are different. Goals are different. Budgets are different. And their target area is different. That is why there's conflict. Eventually they got together at some point and they traveled together, but if they did not resolve it, then they'll just depart each other. So they have different goals. See? Bicycle with the two wheels, with the two, like for two people riding, but if they go different direction, that's not going to move. It's not going to move. You get stuck in one place, or you fall down. You're not going to move at all. And not only goals are different, you have a different method, different preferences. And even food. Somebody likes fried food. Somebody wants steamed food. Or somebody loves vegan. Israelite is heaven for a vegan. But in California, it's hard to find a good restaurant for vegan. So only a few places, because we eat a lot of meat, taco, beef, steak, hamburger, all meat. But everybody has a different preferences within our families. My wife doesn't eat meat. My daughters don't eat meat. Particularly the second daughter does not eat pork at all, no fish. But they love sushi. They love raw fish. But my son hates raw fish. He loves the pork. He loves the pork barbecue. He loves meat. Then how are we going to cook it? The preferences are different. Methodology is different. Let's say goal is the same. We're going to get there. Okay, this is a target area. we're gonna get there in 5 days. But how are we gonna get there? Like Uber, or are we gonna drive a car? And where is the parking space to be? What is the parking fee? Can we use a metro? Time is money. So then, in order to save money, but you gotta spend. In order to save time, you gotta spend money. You gotta buy time with money. So all these methodologies are different. How are you gonna cook it? How are you gonna get there? It's all different story. So a party holds a behavioral preferences. Sometimes some people want to sit in a round table, or sometimes just want to sit here and the leader just make a presentation and everybody look forward, or just round table facing each other, everyone, or they just have a casual meeting in a cafe, or just a dining place. The satisfaction of which is incomparable with another person's implementation of his or her preferences. Preferences are different. So different work methods and preferences brings conflict. See? Cat says, doing it my way. Dog says, no, doing it my way. So they fight, cats and dogs. You know, sometimes in English phrase we say, it rains like cats and dogs. Then it's raining hard with a thunderstorm. You hear a story like the cats and meow, bless you, and the dog barking and make huge sounds. They're fighting like cats and dogs. They don't get along. They have different signals. So when dog, I have a dog. When dog likes people, then dog raises the tail and wiggles. But when he's angry or scared or panicked, then the tail goes down. That's a signal. But cat is totally opposite. When cat is angry, the cat's tail goes up. When cat is relaxed, or when cat is, cat loves the people and being friendly, then tail goes down. So different reaction is happening. Dog loves, so my dog loves the cat, and he just run to cat and wiggles the tail, but cat does not. Cat's tail goes up, is angry and panic, and ready to fight. So wrong signal is happening. Everybody has a different way of expression. Yes or no. Or a variety of tones we say yes, yes, yes. It's all different meaning. It's okay, 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 okay. So all those are different ways to say it. And so doing it my way. So their methodologies are different. And why do we have a conflict? Because we lack resources. And party wants some mutually desirable resource that is in short supply, such that the wants of all parties involved may not be satisfied fully. Sometimes, data is short, empty, no data. When you want to analyze something, you need raw data and you need lots of data to analyze. But data is empty, then you get conflict. We don't have any data. We don't have any proof for that. Or sometimes we don't know how. We have no know-how. We've never done it. It's new. It is new for us. Some say, we've been selling this product. We've been in business for 25 years. Why do we bother to touch the new thing? We don't know how to do it. And some are very adventurous. They say, let's do this. There's a high possibility. So we have no know-how. There's no one knows how to do it. So resources is empty. Data is empty. and know-how is empty, and hours are empty. We don't have a manpower. We're short of men. We're short of laborers. Let's say a particular project needs certain hours. You have to be done in certain hours, and you just don't have a manpower. One of my church members he's leading individuals. We have to encourage positivity and decrease negativity to keep the balance right. But once we praise and recognize or allow the negativity, then whole team will just collapse. So conflict handling intentions. Of course, we want to come to the center. We say compromise. But either we just avoid it. If you avoid it, I don't get stressed out. But the problem stays the same. Or you say, accommodating, friendly help. Oh, let me help you. Yeah. If you keep talking and try to come together, try to resolve it, then the handling will just that'll just up a little bit. Or competitive. If you become competitive and you talk, become being tough, don't do it. Shut up. Listen to me. That's not good. You're stupid. Then it either hurt people or collaborating, problem solving. You just get together, labor together, collaborate something to make it done, make it happen. Those who can do a little more extra step. You walk extra mile. Those who are incompetent, just let them learn. Do not criticize a mistake. And eventually, we want to come to compromising, maneuvering those kind of things. Okay. Then, what are the ways for resolution? How are we going to resolve conflict? This is not a perfect way to do it, but these are the suggestions that are made by leaders. And there's something that I studied, something that I researched on, something that I've been teaching. So I modified and adopted from books and from my experience. I came up with several suggestions. Number one is take time to cool off. When people are coming and they dispute, there are heated discussions. Heat is coming up. They're about to explode. The heat is coming out from ears and nose. You're angry. You're turning yourself into a bomb and explode. You're just time bomb. You have to control your emotional anger. Avoid harsher words. Let's look at one at a time. Picture one is, see? The lady says, and husband uses fire extinguisher. Shh, just pull up. Just pull up. We men often make mistakes. And based on my 30 years of marriage, wife is always right. And wife, whatever wife says, I have to listen. But sometimes, wife gets a little tougher and raising her voice, and they have to pull up. And if you don't, there's anger. There's heat is coming up. You have to drive your emotion, but if your anger drives you, it becomes powerful, destructive. That can destroy a lot of people. So you have to control your anger. See, words can pierce the heart. See, he's saying words like punching someone. You're stupid. When are you going to be a man? When are you going to do this? Can you do it better? Are you stupid or something? You know, words can just hammer you down. These words can just pierce your heart. You know, it gives an arrow. I'm sorry. And they can just bang in your head, just pierce your heart, just throwing rocks at you. That can damage you physically, emotionally. You know, I often see that people are saying F-letter words, and, cursing, they're cussing at each other. They weren't born that way. But because they could not manage their anger, the words that are coming out. You know, he's boiling up. So we have to use I statements. We often say, you stupid, you didn't do it right, you're wrong. Instead of saying it, you know what we often say when you point finger at somebody, 3 fingers are pointing at you. So we say, not you, we have to say, I think. Because I think what you're doing is not proper. I'm just giving my message. I could be wrong. Instead of saying, you're wrong, you say, I think that is not right. Or you say, I feel this way. Or I like to, I want to go this direction, in this way. What do you think? Instead of pointing fingers. Why do we put our fingers on people? Because we think we are better than they are. We often point our fingers at kids, our kids. Kids are not our property. Kids are God's. They belong to God. Every individual. You cannot control them. You cannot manipulate them. You cannot live your life through them. Everybody has their own life. You can affect them, but you can influence their lives, but you cannot live your own dream, something that you could not achieve. You cannot just continue that dream through your children. You know, I see Korean parents just narrow down the jobs, doctor, lawyer, or professor or something. I think musicians okay, cook is okay, hairdresser, fashion designer, construction worker. Nothing wrong with that. Singer, working for entertainment industry, everything's fine. And I tell my children, follow your heart. Follow your heart. Whatever God has given you, just do whatever you like. As long as you don't break the rules of God and you don't break the law of this country, then do whatever you want. Edify people, helping people, then do whatever you want. Instead of pointing fingers or just press on them, so you make them stressed out. Just relieve the stress. Without putting our weights on them, they are already heavy burden already. They have loans, they have a concern for jobs. My two kids graduate from college. One graduated from an excellent college. And she's supposed to be in a PhD program, but she just studied too much and she doesn't want to study anymore. I said, fine, it's okay. So do not point fingers at people. Instead of you, say I. Second thing is focus on the problem, no to the person, not the person. I'm sorry, bad English. No, not the person, not the person. So focus on the situation, issue, or behavior, not the person. So we often say, stay focused. Don't be distracted. The derailment will kill you. Once you're focused on the problem, just focus on that. If somebody criticizes a problem, then you get to defend yourself. You want to just jump on them. No, they're just telling the problem for that issue. So stay focused. Do not jump on people. Third thing is acknowledge the differences. Everybody's different. Men and women are different. You know, if you go to New York, there are 31 boxes you can check for your sex. You're male, female, male and female, think like male or bisexual. Your body is a woman, but you feel like you're a man, transgender. So you have 31 boxes to check. But I believe there's only two, man or woman. Well, now these days, when I was growing up, homosexuality or bisexual or those were just in the shadow. But they did coming up. And they probably say, Mom, I became a woman. Suddenly your son saying, I became a woman. What would you say? That never happened. This happened. But I'm not saying those kind of things, but acknowledge the differences. Chinese, Korean may look the same. Well, not the same. It may look similar, but we use a different language. We think differently. Within the same community, Koreans think differently. First generation, second generation. Newly immigrant. Even the immigrants who came old-timers like me, who's been living here for more than 40 years, or just recently immigrated. So everybody is different. Some are pretty gifted with the hands. Some are very gifted in playing. Some are very articulate. Some articulates really well how to just, when somebody describes things, it's just fascinating how they do it in words. So everybody has different ideas, different gifts. Accept it. See? Difference is not wrong, but rather useful. All these tools have their own purpose. Rulers, you cannot just hammer down with a ruler. You just break it. You don't use hammer to just rule something. So ruler, hammer, screwdriver, knives, chisel, all these are different. But master construct person or master mechanic knows how to use those things properly. So real good leader must know the gift of individual and how to just use it for maximum. The difference is wrong. We cannot say, why is a ruler like that? A ruler is a ruler. You don't say, why Korean is that way? Not everybody like that. Everybody is different. Some are short, some are fat, some are tall, some have good eyes, some have good ears, perfect tone. Some just cannot sing. Some can, talk. Some can, don't like to talk. Everybody's different. But remember this: difference is not wrong. Difference is just different, but it'll be useful. If I don't know, I don't want to offend anyone, but man, like say, man marries a man. You cannot have a baby. Women, they get married. Lesbians, LGBT. They cannot create next generation. Man and woman are different. That is why it's so unique. I often make a joke to my children. Can you imagine my son brings tough guy with a beard and say, "This is my fiance, Steve." I go, what the? You just cannot fulfill the God's commandments. You cannot bear fruit, physical fruit, your descendants. You just cannot. Only the difference making. So men and women are different, and different things are very useful. Okay, the two are better than one. So idea, better ideas. We often say two heads are better than one, two are better than one. So, you cannot say, I can do all. You can't. I know it all, you don't. I cannot know it all. My knowledge is unlimited. Even though I teach at the seminary, but my specialty is in practical theology, leadership, preaching, counseling. I don't want to go into church history or historical theology. That's not my part. I know my level. So two are better than one. See, one person just cannot make anything work electrically. So you need two things to connect. Two are better than one. Okay, number 5 is synergy effect. Synergy is when two or more people are working together and the result is greater than the sum of their individual capabilities. No, everybody has different things. Teamwork, partner, cooperative share, benefits, the synergy effect. 1 plus 1 is not 2. 1 plus 1 can be 3. 1 plus 2 is not 3. It can be more than 6. You can see it in color synergy. See? Green, red, blue. That's the synergy effect. There comes yellow, cyan, and white, magenta, and all those. One individual colors got there brings a synergy effect. Different colors, new color. So, this one person can only do one thing, a two-person can do greater than 2 people can do. This is what synergies happen. Okay, next one is a teamwork. If you do teamwork, you can do greater work. You only can hold 1 piece. 2 people can hold 2 pieces or 4 pieces. 8 people can hold bigger pieces. So teamwork makes you things better. See, teamwork, growth, and health, success. And everybody being a part of it and working together, make a bigger picture. So teamwork is a key to success. That'll open the door. The individual cannot achieve certain place, but if 2 or 3 working together, or let's say you have army things, when you want to go up above the high top, if there's walls being made, if the task is you have to go over that other side. One person, unless you jump really high, you cannot go other side. If you have a 2 or 3, you can work together, collaborate together, and eventually all 3 of you guys can go to different side. The key to success is a teamwork. Teamwork is the key to success. 7th is trust each other. Trust. Once we lose your trust, no longer collaboration, you cannot work together. If you cannot trust, you're gonna shut down. You're gonna close your heart. You're not gonna say anything secretly important. Imagine that. If you cannot trust your spouse, you're living in hell. If you cannot trust your husband, or you cannot trust your wife, if you cannot trust your children and parents, you're living in a hell. If you cannot share the information with your coworkers, if you just cannot trust, you're not in the same team. Either you're a spy, or either you're too prideful, you're pride rising, and you're not part of the team. That person has to be cut off from there. That should be eliminated. So trust is important thing. Because we trust each other. The trust goes a little deeper, and your affection is moving. Affection develops, and there's a love, and you're dying for the person. That's why you get married. And affection is going to your children. You can die for your children. You can do anything for them. That's what the parent, the trust. See, there's a very famous Chinese, I think philosopher or scholars once said, all 5 fingers are different. I think he was Taiwanese or something, a long time ago. He was a great writer, but I forgot the name of the book. He said, you have 5 fingers, lengths are different, all different. But once it becomes together, it makes fist. That's a Chinese guy said it. I think it perfectly makes sense. 5 fingers. And each individual, you can break it. You can break the bones. But when the 5 fingers got together, it makes a fist. The power comes. I think it's great wisdom. Wisdom is there. Because we're working together. Trust each other. When it's a trust is working, if one finger gets hurt, whole body is in pain. Because we are in one body. The 5 fingers make a fist. Lastly, open communication. Even though you don't like the ideas of opposition, feel like you're offended, but know that the person is not offending you. The person is just giving the ideas about the different ideas about the issue. If you say just shut your heart and you're not listening, not talking, then issue cannot be resolved. Even though you're angry, even though you are mad, even though you're depressed, you have to sit down, you have to talk. Sometimes the immature people say, I don't want to talk. No, get out of here. I don't want to hear from you. No more. I don't want. If that happens, then you need to chill off. You just pull off. But you gotta leave the communication channel open. So you have to listen. listening is the key. If you listen, then you can begin to understand. Then you can talk. So when you are, or when you feel like you are in conflict, when you feel that you are disagreed by other people, then just keep your mouth shut, zip it, and listen. If you listen, then you'll begin to understand why they are saying this. And why people are saying the same thing about this issue. Then you understand, then you can talk. So talking shouldn't be the first. But listening must be preceded for talking, because they'll bring you understanding. So eyes open and ears on, keep listening. Listen to other people's ideas and what other people are saying. And oftentimes we don't want to talk. Even though I lived with my wife for 30 years, we had a pretty we had a good relationship. But oftentimes we disagree on issue, how to raise children or descendants, which college should they go, what kind of major they should do. I grew up here. My wife came from Korea after her college. So our way of thinking is different. And I'll say just leave them alone. Let them do whatever they want. That's what I did when I was in high school. When I was in high school, we never had a fence around the school. We can just walk around. School trusted us. In the center of the high school, this is a high school I'm talking about. In a high school, in the center, there was a smoking area. So we used to smoke with the teachers. Sometimes the principal came and asking for cigarettes, and students were just pulling out the pack of cigarettes and passing out, asking for matches. So we just come out after break, at 10 minutes, everybody run to that place and smoking cigarettes and just extinguish and just go back to class. And I never smoked. And the smell of cigarettes were horrible in the class. Because I grew up that way. And in sophomore year, and everybody had a counseling. And counselors were asking, you're going to go to college or you want to learn the skill? So you want to go to college, you go to a different class. If they want to go to you want to learn, then you learn plumbing, and you learn fixing the cars, mechanic, and something else. How to lay the bricks, some of those things. That was back in the 70s. And the school said, only you want to study, you like study, you go to college, but you don't have to. So half of my high school friends just did not go to college. They went to the bank, became a bank teller, became a farmer, running the father's business, little store, doing plumbing. But recently I met because I was the only Asian in the school. No black, no Hispanic, completely white, completely Caucasian. And recently I met a guy who graduated high school, became a plumber. The Caucasian looks much older. We met, graduated in the 80s, so it's been 39 years, about 40 years. We met. He became a grandpa, and I still struggling with raising kids, and we were laughing. And he said, he's a plumber, he's making 6 figures now. I think that was my best choice to become a plumber.